Okay, so we're up to Siman Chaf Hey Halacha Beis. Misho Zoh B'Talis Cotton. It's the second sif in the first siman of Hilchos Tefillin. So someone who's very careful to wear talis cotton, which is like all of us, he's put on his talis cotton and he's wearing his tzitzis, under his shirt, over his shirt, and then he puts on his tefillin at home. And then he walks wearing his talis cotton, crowned in tefillin, lebeis hakneses, to the shul. And then there in shul he puts on his talis gadol. Says the Ramah, the olim are noeg to put on the talis gadol at home, to put your tefillin on, make the brachas, and then they go to shul. Says the Ramah, and you do sue people who do this, more in Eretz Yisrael, and there are some people here as well, but let's see the details in the Mishnah Berurah. Says the Mishnah Berurah, Sif Katan Ches, Bebeisai, Kadesha Yetze Me Pesach Beiso Besis Tefillin. So you're leaving your home adorned with your talis and tefillin. According to the Mechaber, just your talis cotton. Indian Gadol. It's an Indian Gadol, says the Zoya, to leave your house, to come to shul dressed like that. If, however, on the way from your home to shul, you're going to go past mevuos hamatunafos, places where there's dirt, etc., or there are non-Jewish people in the street, it's better to come to shul, and in the chotzer, in the courtyard, the back room or whatever of the shul, you get kitted out there and you put on your talis tefillin then. And if that's not possible, then put them on at home and cover put on a hat or cover them with your hands. When you get up early in the morning before it gets light, and therefore it's impossible, you're coming to shul early to learn or slichus or whatever it is, then it's not shaykh to keep the zohar because it's too early to put on your tefillin at home. If you're in shul learning or slichas, then you go from there into the chotzer of the Beis HaKnesses, and then you put them on afterwards in the Beis HaKnesses. Just by the way, the Mishnah, and that could be the reason why a lot of us don't do it. There are nochrim in the streets, there's mokum hamatunofos, so it's interesting machlokas. What about there's public dustbins in the street? So if you want to walk and there's a public garbage trash can, so if you take a look at note 13, that doesn't make the place into a mokum matunaf, and therefore you'd still be allowed to walk with your talis and tefillin in the streets. However, it's machlokes Rabbi Yashav Shlomo Zalman, and Rabbi Yashav is machmeh. Okay, let's carry on. Back in the Mishnah Berurah, Sif Katan Tes, v'shom yisatef, v'af al pi shebo hatalis hagadol yoda kodem sheniach tefillin. Even though the talis gadol is there, before he puts on the tefillin, ein tzorach lisatef to bebeisa. You don't need to put the talis gadol on at home, given she'ein dait lilbesh behen, because lilbesh shekan, because the das is not to put it on here. Lisatef b'makom shematzuyin nachrim b'rechav, yisatef b'chatz Beis HaKnesses efshalei, like we said. Yudalev for levarich alav pirush birchas lisatef. You make the bracha of lisatef. V'yichav and nifta b'bracha zu gam talis hakoton, and with that bracha you make your yotza with the talis cotton, the bracha of the talis cotton. Or chadel b'simen ches if yud, which we did already. Ayin shom Mishnah Berurah sif cotton chaf dalet. Okay, that's that. So ideally to put on your talis tefillin at home. But there are the reasons why we don't see it so much nowadays, because going through the streets where there are nochrim or there are mokum and tunofos, etc., we don't do it. Okay, I know when Rabbi Lef always stays with us, he always is quite careful on this to put it on at home, and so I'm learning here. Then I go back and pick him up. But there he's coming mamash into the car, and from the car he comes out, and I guess in Moshav Matityahu where he is in Eretz Yisrael, it's easier to do that. Okay, Gimel Harosh. Says the Mechaber, he would say all the brachas at home, like the Gemara bracha says. At each stage, when you get dressed, when you put your foot on the ground, etc., he would do it up till Oite Yisrael B'Sifara. Then he would put on tefillin, and then he would make the bracha of Oite Yisrael B'Sifara. Says the Mishnah Berurah, because Oite Yisrael B'Tifara also refers to tefillin, which are called the pe'er. Shenema percha chavish alecha. V'koyal tefillin shein pe'er l'Yisrael. They're considered the crown, the adornment of the Jew. K'may shenema v'ro kol ha'maretz v'yoru mimeka. V'darshinon elu tefillin sheberosh. That's tefillin sheberosh. U'mavorech oiter. U'ba'aretz Chaim kosav. Artas Chaim, if I'm not mistaken, is the Pirush of the Malbim on Shulchan Aruch. I think he got up to Simon Mem around there in the Hilchos Tzitzis and Tefillin. So I think that's there. Artas Chaim writes, Lo ro'isi shnagin kain. I don't see people do this. Rak, what do we do? Which is now what he's going to describe as our minhag. Manichin Tefillin koydem birchas hashacha. We put on our Tefillin, ayachakach, or afterwards. Kol echad lefi minhago rak ro'isi medaktim lemashmish tefillin yad shel yad v'shel rosh b'shash mevarech bracha zu. In other words, says the Artas Chaim, I see people, they put on their tefillin, and then they go through the brachas karagil. However, when it comes to Eitz B'Sifara, they just sort of touch their tefillin, either shel yad and the shel rosh. Okay, Dalet. Sarich shu tefillin olav b'shas kriya shema tefillah. It's important that tefillin should be on you when you say kriya shema and tefillah and the Shemona Esra. Says in Mishnah Berurah, b'shas kriya shema tefillah. Rotzuleima l'chol ha'pachos b'shas kriya shema utfillah. At least minimally, the tefillin should be on at that point. Anyone who says kriya shema without tefillin, he's giving false testimony. Or Pirush Taisus there explains, what does that mean? He's saying in the parsha of Shema, wrap the tefillin on your hands and you haven't put them on. Even though b'diavad you've been yotze kriya shema, mikol makom yesh lo aveira mitzad acher. There is another problem. Shemare al atzma she'ein rotzen l'kayim rotzen Hashem yisparach. You're sort of demonstrating that you don't be mekayim the rotzen Hashem. V'zeu eidu sheker shemered al atzma. That's the eidu sheker. V'yesh oid pirush acher ayin b'levush. V'kosav b'sefer hacharedim. The mizen nilmad kashem v'ohavtas Hashem elokecha yire lahachnis avos Hashem yisparach. When you say v'ohavtas Hashem elokecha, you should try and engender feelings of Avos Hashem. It shouldn't just be lip service that you're saying the words v'ohavtas Hashem elokecha and you don't feel it. Avera is only if you're doing it b'mezid, i.e. you're not putting on tefillin when you're saying Shema. That's only talking about b'mezid. A person doesn't have tefillin. He's traveling and he's on the road and he can't put on tefillin. It's too cold, or the elements, whatever it may be, and he's going to put on later. He shouldn't delay saying Kriya Shema. That's the levush in Siman Ches v'takti shom es l'shona ayin shom. So this whole concept of being made edu sheker by not wearing tefillin when you are saying Kriya Shema is only if you're doing it b'mezid. If you haven't got tefillin, or you're going late or whatever, then one should still carry on and say it. How does one go about engendering Avos Hashem? To say v'aftas Hashem lekecha, you should feel it. So he says in footnote number 19, he says v'haderech lagia lekach. Kosovo the Sefer Shmiras Lashon, in the other famous Sefer of the Chofetz Chaim, he says, begdulas habeire. You should contemplate the godless of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and how small we are and how great HaKadosh Baruch Hu is. Toiv habayri alav hasmonas toivus, etc., etc., and all the chesed HaKadosh Baruch Hu does for us. The Rambam says there are two ways to get close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. One is through nature, that's what we've just described, and also through limud Torah. So it could be that through limud Torah before Shacharis is a way of doing it. Also, there's I once heard, I think b'shem Rabbi Kiva Eiger, that before Shema we say Avarabo Avasoilam. And we talk about the love that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has for us. And it's K'mayim Ponim El Ponim. When we contemplate the love HaKadosh Baruch Hu has for us, then automatically that engenders love reciprocal back to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's one of the reasons why we say Av Rabbah beforehand. And therefore, those are the various ways where we can get to Avos Hashem.